Hey guys, I hope that you're all doing really well. Today I felt like sitting down and getting ready with you, so definitely grab a tea or maybe even grab your makeup and start getting ready with me. I'm using a bunch of products from my Project Pan, but I'm also using some other products from my makeup collection that are newer or haven't seen as much love as of late. So there's a really good combination of things here, and there is a lot of makeup on my face. I just felt like doing something, you know, out of my everyday routine, playing with products, and I really did enjoy the process of creating this look, and I love the final result. So if you want to see how I created this look, then please keep on watching. I'm going to start out by priming the skin. I'm using the NARS Smooth and Protect Primer. I am just trying to get this used up. It's not in a project, but I really just want to get it used up now that NARS is no longer a cruelty-free brand. I'm just going to use it where I have the biggest pores and obviously the most issues with my foundation rubbing off. My skin has been quite parched looking lately, quite dry. So I'm going to start by actually highlighting underneath of everything. I'm going to use the Colourpop Super Shock Cheek. This is in the shade Lunch Money, and I'm going to apply it to the highest points of my face. So I'm just putting it on with my ring finger and blending it onto my cheekbones, the tip of my nose and down the bridge, and then up onto the brow bone as well. So I'm going to start with the eyes. I'm using the NARS Pro Prime eyeshadow base, and this is not cruelty free, but I'm just trying to get it out of my collection now. A really good alternative to it though is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Primer. I love it equally as much as I love this one. So I'm just going to pop that onto my lids and then into my inner corner as well. And I kind of bring it through my brow too. I set my lid every single day with the shade Undressed from the Lorac Unzipped Gold palette. So I'm just going to do that now just to cancel out a lot of my discoloration and to make the colors blend really nicely. I'm going to go into the Colourpop Yes Please palette. I just got this in the mail this week and I've only used it one time, so I feel like going in and using some of the shades I have yet to use on my eyes, which are more of the red tones. And I'm just gonna play around. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna start with the shade Note to Self, which is this like medium toned brown. And I'm just gonna go in with a buffing brush. I am using the MAC 217. I just don't have an alternative for it quite yet, but I would love to get something that works just as well as this one. So if you guys have any recommendations, please let me know. I'm just going to buff this shade all in the crease. So the next shade that I'm going to go into is this one here. It's called Spoiled, and I don't own any other red shades like this, so this was something that I was really excited about when I picked up this palette. And yeah, I'm just really excited to see what it's going to look like. So I'm going to add it onto my outer corner of my eye and then onto the inner corner as well. I'm taking a lot of time to build and blend this color. It is quite pigmented from the start, but I just really want some serious intensity. Next up, I'm going to go into this shade called Bling. This is like a coppery kind of bronzy shade. It's a really unique color to my collection. So again, of course, I just really want to play with it. And I'm going to pop that on actually with a concealer brush just so that I can get a lot of intensity from it. And I'm going to bring it just a little bit further in on my eyelid instead of all the way out to where Spoiled is. I feel like I want just a little bit more intensity on the outer corner, so I'm going to go in with this shade here called French Kiss, which is like a bit of a plummy chocolate brown. It's a really gorgeous shade. And I'm going in just right on that outer portion of my lid. And again, I'm just going to go in and buff everything together. So I left the center of the lid bare because I want to do a halo eye with a spotlight sort of placement. So I'm going to go in with this eyeshadow primer And this one is by Essence. This is the Long Lasting Brightening and Flawless Finish Eyeshadow Primer in the shade Nude Beige. And this is really good because it's going to cancel out any of the color that has traveled to the center of the lid, and it's going to make the shadow that I'm going to put on top really pop. Because I have hooded eyes, I'm going to bring this color just a little bit over my natural crease so that when my eyes are open, you can still see that I have a halo eye. I really feel like going totally intense with this spotlight, so I'm going to use the Stila Magnificent Metals in the shade Kitten Karma, and I'm going to pop that on right from the applicator. I love this for doing a halo eye, so I'm going to just pop that right in the center of my lid and blend it out with my finger. So as that dries, I'm going to re-intensify the red. I'm going to go back into Spoiled and a little bit of this one here called Bling, and just mix them together and re-intensify the red. I'm just going to use a clean brush and really buff everything out now. There was a fair amount of fallout from the red shades as I kind of anticipated, so I'm just going to clean it up with a bit of micellar water. I'm going to be applying the Anastasia Stick Foundation. I have the shade Warm Natural, and I'm just going to apply this straight from the tube. You can get really full coverage with this foundation when you apply it right from here, but I'm actually going to shear it out just a little bit by using the Beauty Blender instead of a brush. And I'm just going to build up the coverage where I need a little bit more, which is always on my cheeks. And then I'm just going to very carefully bounce this on my skin in order to keep as much coverage as possible. Just because there's so much red on the eyes, I really want to cancel out any blue underneath my eyes. So I'm going to be using the Pixie Correction Concentrate in Brightening Peach. I'm going to apply that with my finger and then blend it out with the Beauty Blender. And to add even more coverage under the eyes, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer. And again, I'm just blending that out with the Beauty Blender. And I still have a couple of very pesky spots, I always do, and I'm going to use my Makeup Forever Full Cover Concealer. Again, this is not a cruelty-free product, but I'm just trying to use it up in my 6 for Summer Project Pan. So I just want to use it on the skin. It's getting so close to empty, I'm having such a hard time getting product out of here, but it just won't give up yet. I'm going to set under the eyes with the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder. I really love this stuff for setting under the eyes. It really does make my concealer last all day, and it keeps my under eyes from creasing a little bit faster than other products do. On the remainder of my face, I'm going to use this NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat Powder Foundation, and I have so little of this product left. There's just like the tiniest bit here, so I've just been desperately trying to use it up. If you guys have any recommendations for really good powder foundations that are cruelty free, please let me know, because I am definitely looking for an alternative to this one. I've used it a couple of times now, like I've gone through a few compacts and it's good, but I'm ready to try something new. You know how you get like that? To warm up the face, I'm going to use the Sephora Colorful Contour in the shade Los Cabos. This is part of my 17 in 2017. And I'm just going to really put this kind of all over the cheeks and forehead to just warm up my complexion and bring definition all in one. I'm going to be going into the Lorac Unzipped Gold palette, and I'm going to be using this for my brows as well as for my highlight. So the first thing I'm going to do is go into the shade Unwind and use that on my NYX eyebrow brush, and I'm just going to fill in my brows using that powder. This palette is a part of my project pan, and I've really been enjoying finding different ways to use it, not just as eyeshadow. So like I said, I'm going to go into this shade here. It's called Unlocked. It's like a golden, like straight up gold with small gold particles. I'm going to be using that on my cheekbones, which is going to be super intense. This is not something that I use on an everyday basis, but I've used it a few times for going out and I really like it, especially if I'm going to be on a patio. I love this in the sun. It just looks so amazing. The gold pairs so well with the red. I'm really, really happy with this so far. For the lower lash line, I'm going to mix Spoiled and Bling again, and I'm just going to run that along the lower lash line. I actually feel like this look calls for a bit more of a bushy brow, so I'm going to go in with the NYX Brow Mascara. I'm just going to use this on the outer portion of my brows and then just very so slightly on the inner portion. I'm going to push everything upward. I really feel like I need to get some mascara on, so I'm going to do that off camera and I'll be right back to finish up everything. So I'm going to add just a touch of blush because I'm trying to utilize this blush as much as possible. This is the Essence Silky Touch Blush in Sweetheart. This is in my 6 for Summer project pan. So I'm just going to add that right to the apples of my cheeks, just ever so slightly, because I don't think that blush is essential with this look, but just want to add a little bit of color to my face. I'm also going to pop that on my nose. So I'm going to actually mix these two shades from the Lorac Unzipped Gold palette right into the inner corner. So the very last step of this look is lips, and you could definitely go with something really plummy and deep. But for now, I just want to stick with the nude. I know it's not really that exciting, but that's what I just am feeling at the moment. So I'm going to go in with this little mini of the Bite Amuse Bouche in Honeycomb, and then I'm going to top it off with Colourpop WeHo Ultra Glossy Lip. So here is the finished look. I'm really happy with the result. So this is the finished look. I hope that you guys really enjoyed getting ready with me and seeing how I utilize some of my Project Pan products in combination with some of my other products from my collection. I really enjoyed doing this look. This is the way that I love to use my Project Pan products so that it just doesn't get boring. And yeah, this is absolutely everything for the video. Please subscribe if you haven't already and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this kind of video from me. It's kind of different for me. So yeah, if you enjoyed this one, definitely give it a thumbs up, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.